Hi everyone, it's Miss Dragonfly, the Relationship Whisperer, back again. Welcome back to my channel where we discuss all things relationships with the aim to make marriage great again. I've come across another video from Sadia Khan where she says that there are 3 factors that predict divorce with 80% accuracy. And she's been interviewed by someone, and so we'll have a look at what she says and I'll let you know whether or not I agree with it.
You've said current dating is just practicing for divorce. There's a lot of talk about the fragility of long-term relationships and divorce rates going up. You've actually done some research looking at what predicts divorce. What did you find?
Well, I have to give credit where credit's due, but the most long-standing research into marriage and relationships was by the Gottman Institution, and they did the most scientific and objective analysis of relationships, and they studied 10,000 couples in a lab over a couple of days, and they were able to predict with 80% accuracy which couples would stay together and which ones would get divorced within a year. And it was so simple what they were able to find, and it was simple thing as responding to each other's bids for connection. What I mean by this is when we have a partnership where one person comes home and expresses an emotion, the other one picks up on it, that partnership has the base levels to last a really long time. So it could be a simple thing like you come home from work and say, oh, I'm so tired, and your partner says, why, what's wrong? Simple connection. From that connection, they trust each other and then they start to lean into each other. But if you come home and you're like, I'm so tired, and your partner either says nothing or says, why are you tired? I'm the one that's been with the kids all day, or what have you done all day? I've been at work all day. That turning away from each other's emotional needs is the training ground for divorce. They are now setting themselves up for divorce, and it might not happen today, it might not happen tomorrow, it might last another 10, 15 years. But we get emotionally exhausted by having partners who reject our kind of advances for connection, and eventually the relationship ends.
Now, what she's saying about partners disengaging with each other, not engaging, and that's reflected like if you come home, say you're really tired and your partner don't really listen or even ask, honey, what's wrong? Then, that's a precursor to a divorce to come. Now, to me, that's a symptom of a greater problem, a greater underlying issue. Because if you are actually invested in each other's lives, actually working as a team, actually sharing a life together, then you're going to be pretty aware and know that what happens to your partner is also going to affect you. So you do have a vested interest in what happens to your partner. You want your partner to do well because it also affects you. If your partner does well or poorly, it's going to affect you. If they do well, more money available to your lives together. Poorly, then okay, you might have to step in and take charge if things go really bad. And so I see that as being more of a, not having that disengaging with each other, like they've shifted. Like I guess in the beginning, like you've got that honeymoon period and people are really engaged and they have that attitude that we're together. But once they stop that feeling that we're together, so to speak, really as a couple in their mind, or as a unit, a team, then they don't really care about what the other one does. And so this is really a symptom, being disengaged, of an underlying issue that they don't really see. Their partner is really their partner in life. They're disconnected, kind of like end up being like 2 people living separate lives but just happen to physically live together. So let's see what else she has to say.
The case then that divorce rates are rising, if that's the biggest predictor, if that's 80% accuracy of being able to predict, why has that specific trait changed so much over the last 50 years?
Distractions. Distractions, distractions, distractions. There are alternatives to everything. Even if you want a meal, you'll have 50 alternatives on Uber Eats. You want to go out to eat, there's 50 places that you could go. You want to watch something, there's 50 alternatives of what to watch. There are so many alternatives to every single aspect of life that it makes it almost impossible to invest in one. Everybody and everything becomes disposable. So what's happening is when your partner comes home a bit tired or stressed, it maybe in the past you'd pick up on it, but now you're on your phone. Or maybe when your partner wanted to watch a series that you didn't care about, in the past you may have been like, okay, it's fine, I'll just get on with it, there's nothing else on. Now, like, you watch this, I'm going to watch that. There's so many alternatives to everybody, and every person is now becoming so disposable that we can no longer have the patience to invest in people's emotional needs. And we're becoming so hedonistic that our emotional needs come first. And we're being taught this in society more and more. We're always talked about put you first, self-esteem, self-assurance, self-actualization. The word self is kind of programmed in our psyche, and the collectivism that we used to have as a society is gone. So we're no longer getting happiness from somebody else's happiness. It's a selfish pursuit now.
Okay, so yeah, when she says distractions, yeah, to a certain extent it's true. We have a lot more choices now. Our lives have gotten a lot more busier in a sense, you know, you've got people ringing up, social media, this and that. And so don't have as much time available, I guess, unfortunately, for a partner, which shouldn't be the case. We don't make the time. It's not as easy to make the time for your partner and keep your partner in mind as it was before. But also the impact that she says about selfishness, yes, our society has become more and more self-centered. It's more about the me now rather than giving back. The culture now is pushed. I mean, social media and the media itself is not really reminding people of all the wholesome values. Actually, they're getting rid of all the wholesome values of community and loving each other and doing best for each other as a family unit. So let's see what else she has to say.
Isn't it strange that the trait of focusing not on somebody else's desire for connection is causing you to turn inward? That is causing divorces to increase down the line, which means that people respond to that by being more defensive, by being more guarded and more cynical, which makes them turn further inward, which makes them less of an eligible partner to the next relationship, which then just creates a cycle that then gets broadcast onto the internet. People who haven't had much experience in relationships because they're young or because they fail out or because they're concerned or nervous or averted to risk, use that as their proxy and say, right, well, I'd better enter into this relationship guarding myself so that I don't get hurt, which makes it more likely that it's going to break up, and the cycle just continues.
Yeah. It's exactly that. What happens is we're actually entering relationships with our armor up. But in the process of playing those games, like not texting back, not getting too close, not attaching, not telling them that you miss them, not telling them that you love them, you are training somebody to love you in the wrong way. If I'm somebody who's needy and I actually need lots of love and reassurance, but I don't want to text first and I don't want to be looking needy and I don't want to say I miss you because I'm going to wait for him, I'm then teaching him that I'm cool, calm, and collect, and I don't care when I hear from him. If I see you, I see you. But then he's not getting the training ground of what I truly want. He's not getting access to my true needs. So I am now no longer communicating effectively. I'm actually teaching him how to love in a very avoidant and dismissive manner because I'm pretending to be cool. When really, if I say, look, I need to speak to my partner on a daily basis. I like to see you regularly. I love you. I miss you. What is this? I like labels. When I start communicating my needs, he will actually learn how to love me. But we're teaching people to do the opposite. We're teaching people to pretend that there's somebody else, and especially pretend that they're avoidant, pretend that they're independent, pretend that they don't have these needs. So essentially we're going to attract the wrong partner.
What else have you found that is
We're going to attract the wrong partner.
Okay, she makes some very good points that if we're not engaging and honey, it's you and me. And if you're in a marriage and you are a team, because marriage, like I said, is basically a partnership in life. You are a team to go through life together. And so you need to always be conscious of the other person, your other half in your life that's making up this team with you in life. And that doesn't seem a very good signal. And yeah, you need to engage, or otherwise, and be that type of person. Like she said, otherwise you attract the wrong type of person, the person that is not going to be a team player with you in life. Okay, let's see what else she has to say.
What else have you found that is a predictor of a toxic or a negative or a declining relationship?
Criticism over praise. Again, with the research, one of the things that they find is partners that last are ones that praise a substantial amount compared to criticism. So they scan the environment to kind of praise their partner. They'll look for excuses to praise their partner. Like, even if it's as simple as like, you make the bed so good. Every time I come home, the house is clean. These tiny things, any opportunity to praise their partner. But what happens in relationships that end is they can't remember the last time they complimented each other. They think it should be a given. They think, well, I think you're pretty because I'm with you, aren't I? Or, I'm grateful that you pay the bills. Like, you're a guy. Why do you need compliments? Men are craving this. I've noticed a lot in my practice, the men that often have affairs, they're not actually seeking sex. They're seeking a woman that compliments them. They say they can't remember the last time a woman told them that he looks great. Whereas for women, our partner says it, but also our friends will tell us. People will tell us. Yeah, we're always being told we're beautiful or whatever it is. But for men, if their partner doesn't tell them, nobody does. So when they meet somebody who simply tells them they look good, they're intelligent, something to validate them, they immediately become attracted to that because they're starved of it. So praise is something that I think couples forget how important it is.
The trait of not focusing on your partner is really also a sign of selfishness. And you know that in marriage, you cannot be selfish because you are part of a team. You have to think of others. And because of that, you also have, marriage, you have to think of your partner. And so those people that are just disengaged by nature, very inward looking, yeah, it's a real sign of selfishness. And if that is their natural trait, then marriage is definitely not for them. Because marriage is about being part of a team. And if you are part of a team, you cannot be selfish. Okay, and about communicating your needs, about treating you and your partner as a unit, not pretend that you don't need anyone else because to be strong, because that's what we are taught. You're strong, you don't need anyone else. Particularly women that line's been pushed on women. Okay, because remember, really, no matter how strong you are, if you're a marriage with a team member, you need to work with your other half. Okay, you are not just you are part of something bigger than you. And the last point she made was about criticism over praise. I mean, really, when you criticize people, it's a sign of that you're competing with them, and so that's not conducive as being part of a team. When we say and praising your partner, giving power, is a sign of working at a team. And we all want to be praised. We all need, when we say validation, we all like to be praised and valued. And the praise is a part of letting us know that we are valued. That we do have value. And when she says that men have affairs is seeking a woman that compliments him, it's really, human nature. We want to have value. And when someone that compliments us, it's an acknowledgement that we have value. And not being valued by your partner is really a symptom of being with the wrong partner, that someone doesn't value you. If we have a dress that we really like because it looks good on us, it makes us feel great, we would value that. And on the other hand, if a dress that doesn't look good on us, we're not going to value it because it's not bringing us any value, so we don't value it. It's the same as a partner. Okay, so let's continue with the rest of the video.
Important it is.
I suppose that the game playing and the rivalry that sometimes happens in relationships as they start to go downhill, that makes this situation worse, because you're not going to praise somebody that you think is your rival or that you're trying to play games with, or that you're unsure about the level of trust that you should put in them.
Well, whoever you don't feel safe with. Thing is, all of these things that I'm saying, they only come when you feel safe. Now, simple things like liking other girls' pictures or following people now makes people feel super unsafe, super unsafe. So their guards go up. I know people that the moment they add somebody on Instagram and they see who they're following, they might have had a really great date with them. Everything was great, but then they look on their following, like, oh, straight away, insecurities, guards, everything.
What's happening, people? If you enjoyed that, then press
unsafe, so their guards go up. Well, whoever you don't feel safe with. Thing is, all of these things that I'm saying, they only come when you feel safe. Now, simple things like liking other girls' pictures or following people, people forget how they're intelligent. Something to validate them, they immediately become attracted to that because they're starved of it. So praise is something that I think couples forget how important it is.
I suppose that the game playing and the rivalry that sometimes happens in relationships as they start to go downhill, that makes this situation worse, because you're not going to praise somebody that you think is your rival or that you're trying to play games with, or that you're unsure about the level of trust that you should put in them.
Well, whoever you don't feel safe with.
So, in summary, everything that she's listed here is a symptom of partners that are not working together as a team or even see each other as partners in a team. And because of that, they don't feel and are not valued by their partner, and this is all down to a mismatch. They are not the right fit for each other, which is why each doesn't value the other. Therefore, they're not invested in each other's lives as if they were close. So everything she said is really a symptom of them not being close. Not being close is because they're not the right fit for each other. And subconsciously they know that. And that is why it manifests in not engaging with each other, not complimenting each other, because they don't value each other. If you're not valued, then you try to seek validation elsewhere and value and find someone that will value you as you. That's human nature. And so in that way, I guess, yes, it is a great predictor of divorce in that they're not engaged with each other and thinking of each other as a team. So those are my thoughts on what she said. What do you think? Let me know by leaving your comments below, and if you've enjoyed the video, then don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And for more advice on relationships, check out this video. And that's it for today, and until I see you next, remember to stay strong, confident and awesome.